Okay, let's take a moment to just get comfortable. Whatever position is best for you. So if that's sitting down, making sure our back is straight. That can be lying down if that feels most comfortable, or even a standing position if that's what works for you. Take a second, just get comfortable. Let's bring our attention to this present moment. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Let's take a nice big deep breath in. In. Let's hold it for a moment. Let's let it out. Even let it out with a sigh. Why don't we do that again? One big breath in. Hold for a moment and let it out with a sigh. Let's bring our attention to our breath. Let's take a minute to see where we feel the breath in our body the most strongly. We might feel it in our nose, in our nostrils. We might be aware of the cool air coming in and the warm air as it goes out. Perhaps we feel it most strongly in our chest, and the rise and fall of our chest, maybe feeling our ribs expanding and contracting. Maybe we feel it in our abdomen. We feel that motion of breath in our abdomen. And wherever we feel it the most strongly, let's rest our attention there. And we can rest it lightly and gently. Just be aware of our breath as it goes in and as it goes out. And today we're going to work with the St. Francis prayer. How the prayer begins is, Lord, make me a channel of thy peace. And as we breathe in, let us mentally say the words, Lord, make me a channel. And as we breathe out, let's mentally note the words of thy peace. So breathe in, Lord, make me a channel. And breathe out, of thy peace. Breathe in, Lord, make me a channel, and breathe out of thy peace. And let's just do that for a little while, maybe for a minute. And if our mind wanders, that's okay. We're just aware of us breathing in and breathing out. We gently return our attention back to our breath and breathe in, Lord, make me a channel. And breathe out of thy peace. Breathe in, Lord, make me a channel. Breathe out of thy peace. The next line in the prayer says that where there is hatred, I may bring love. Let us breathe in God's unconditional love It's a love that comes from a well that never runs dry. It's a love that we can't even imagine. So as we breathe in, let's breathe in God's love. It's unconditional. There's always more. Breathe it in. And in the top of our inhale, we might notice a pause before our exhale. In that moment, we can hold that God's love before we breathe it out. And as we breathe it out, we can breathe out God's love to those who need it, to those we love, to those who are struggling. It's unconditional. There's no bounds to God's love. So let us take a minute and breathe in love. You can hold it on the pause and breathe out love. So just for the next minute, let's breathe in love and breathe out love. Breathe in love, breathe out love. The next line of the prayer says that where there is wrong, I may bring the spirit of forgiveness. And just like God's love, God's forgiveness is unconditional. Perhaps we may be feeling guilt or shame or just that bondage of self where we feel we could not possibly be forgiven. Maybe we're holding on to resentment and anger towards others where we don't know if we could possibly ever forgive them. And we're going to breathe in God's unconditional forgiveness. Again, there's no ends, no bounds. God is unconditionally forgiving. We're going to breathe that in. Breathe in God's forgiveness on the in-breath. I'm going to maybe hold it for that pause at the top of the in-breath and breathe out forgiveness. And we're going to do this just for a minute. Breathe in forgiveness. Breathe out forgiveness. And if our mind wanders, that's okay. We just bring it back to the breath. Breathe in forgiveness. Breathe out forgiveness. The next line of the prayer goes on to say that where there is discord, I may bring harmony. And we might feel like there's chaos within us or discord around us, outside of us. But just like all of God's attributes, it's unconditional. There's more of it than we could ever imagine. It's abundant. So let us breathe in God's harmony and breathe out that harmony. So as we breathe in, we can breathe in the word harmony. And at the top of the inhale, you can feel like we hold that harmony for just a moment. and breathe out that harmony to the world, to those who need it, to bring peace and calm. Breathe in harmony, breathe out harmony. And let's do that for just a minute. The next line of the prayer goes on to say that where there is error, I may bring truth. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in that truth. And that's God's truth, that's God's lens, that's God's will. And we're just going to breathe in the word truth and breathe out the word truth. Breathe in truth, breathe out truth. And let us do that just for a minute. Breathe in truth, breathe out truth. If our mind wanders, that's okay. We just bring it back. Breathe in truth. Breathe out truth. The next line of the prayer says that where there is doubt, I may bring faith. So let us breathe in faith. And we can hold that faith and breathe out faith. So as we breathe in, we can mentally note the word faith. And as we breathe out, we can mentally note the word faith. And let us do that just for 1 minute. 1 minute. The prayer goes on to say that where there is despair, I may bring hope. And we might be feeling a sense of despair, a sense of hopelessness, and that's okay. And what we'll do is we'll breathe in hope. We're going to breathe in that hope in God, our higher power. Breathe that in. Breathe in hope. And at the top of the in-breath, where there's that pause, maybe that's that moment where we just hold on to that hope. As we breathe out, Let's breathe it out and share it to those who need that hope. So as we breathe in, we can breathe in hope. And as we breathe out, we can breathe out hope. Let us take a minute and do that now. And if our mind wanders, that's okay. We just gently and lovingly bring it back to the breath. Breathe in hope. Breathe out hope. Let's do that for a little bit longer. And the next line of the prayer, it says that where there are shadows, I may bring light. And let us breathe in God's light. And what we can do is, as we breathe that in, we can imagine maybe what that light looks like. Maybe it's a golden light. Maybe it's a bit of a silver light. Maybe it's warm like a pink color or cool like a blue. Just whatever color comes to mind. If you're visual, we can visualize it. We can visualize as we breathe in, breathing in that light and breathing out that light. And imagine sharing that light with those who are in the darkness, those who need it most. And if we're not visual, if we don't like that, that's okay. What we can just do is breathe in the word light and breathe out the word light. Breathe in light, breathe out light. And let us take some time and do that now. The next line of the prayer goes on to say that where there is sadness, I may bring joy. Let us take some time. Breathe in the word joy. Imagine just breathing in God's joy. And let's breathe out joy. Share that joy with the world, with those we love, with those who need it. Let us take a minute or so. Breathe in joy. Breathe out joy. our mind wanders, that's okay. We just bring it back to our breath. Breathe in joy. Breathe out joy. The prayer goes on to say that, Lord, grant that I may seek to comfort than to be comforted. So let us take a moment. Let's take a big, big, deep breath in through our nose. Breathe in that comfort. Hold it for a moment and breathe out that comfort. Let's do that again. Let's imagine those who need that comfort. Let's breathe in that comfort. Hold it for a moment. Breathe out that comfort. It goes on to say, to understand, then to be understood. Let's breathe in that understanding. Take a big, big, deep breath. Breathe in understanding. Hold it for a moment. Breathe it out. Let it go. Offering that understanding. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in understanding. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. The prayer goes on to say, to love than to be loved. So let's have a big, big breath. Breathe in love. Breathe in love. Breathe it in. Hold it for a moment. And then let it go. Let it out. Offer it to those who need it. Breathe in love. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. Big, big breath. Hold it for a moment. And when you're ready, let it out. Breathe it out to those who need it most. The prayer ends with, for it is by self-forgetting that one finds. It is by forgiving that one is forgiven. It is by dying that one awakens to eternal life. Let's take a moment to come back to the room, come back to the place where we are. Let us wiggle our fingers and toes. Bring some movement back to our bodies. And when you're ready, open your eyes.